What's up there, Playboy?
Sending data. Online. Periscope. Online. Facebook.
Everybody gets a
Online.
ASMR me like this.
Online. David Scarpetta Facebook. Boom. We're just.
So it's the third shot. Should we just test this?
Here we go.
Third shot.
Hey everybody. Oh, LinkedIn's struggling a little bit. Twitch is struggling.
Everybody's struggling. It's the struggle. The struggle is real.
Let's see if this works.
The struggle is real.
Look at that fade.
What?
It's a very emotional crossfade.
The struggle is real.
It's very
The struggle. I'm
like
gonna struggle
romantic.
with drinking 2 drinks at the same time.
Wow, I love crossfading.
How's that sound? On a sound check. Okay, so we're gonna test that, and we are.
I'll just roll on these cameras just in case, even though it's not necessary.
What's not necessary?
Recording on the memory cards because I'm
Gotcha.
already recording on the PC.
Okay, so
Alrighty.
this is 3 times a charm. Should we stop it after just to say make sure it works?
I mean, I'm getting levels. There's no.
If there's anybody out
square
there,
on
can
my
somebody
face.
chat us and say, "Hey, we're doing
Boom.
things right."
That's Dave right there, and then we got the screen up here.
Yeah.
So let's see. What do we wanna?
This is not for the faint of heart.
What do we want?
Not for the faint.
Up here.
Okay, so we're gonna stream ourselves. Streaming. We're gonna watch our stream. How do you say it? High School Musical. I love auto suggest. It's like sometimes the greatest and the worst thing all at the same time. It's like, what are you thinking? You thinking High School Musical?
This is what they taught us in programming class. The first words on a new programming language. The first test on a new programming language.
What do we
I wonder if the audio works on there too. Oh wow. Internet's going crazy right now. It just can't handle all this shit. Oh, that's nice.
It's kind of soothing. It's got 3 million people found it very soothing.
It's got that jazzy. Yeah. Yo, hello world. What up, girl? I wanna fuck you. I wanna bring you back to my crib.
I don't think I've ever seen this.
Cute. Oh wow. There's a whole song here. It's a whole dance number. Anyways. Wait. Okay.
I get those high notes, bro. I get those high notes. I was really getting into that. I had never heard that before. I've seen a lot of crazy stuff on the internet, and I've never heard these sweet beats before.
All right.
Hello world.
What are people saying right now?
I don't know what they're saying, but I know that the Hello World song. I might have to. Is that a what's it called? When something's Creative Commons. Does that have a Creative Commons on that? Can we use that? Can we remix? Can we take a piece of that? The Hello World.
We'll find out.
I think that would be really good.
We'll find
really good to do.
out.
Take a Creative Commons. I think more people need to know about that. Look, it's got a SoundCloud. How do How do you send hugs to a computer? There's an important question. You know, I love the comments sometimes. Sometimes the comments can be kind of cruel. But sometimes they're just so beautiful. How do you hug a computer?
Whoa, this is pretty meta right now.
How's it look? Does it look good? Are we
I don't know what they're saying, but I know that the Hello World song, I might have to. Is that a
hear myself?
Yeah, no, it's synced up. It looks good.
Okay. All right. Good.
Yeah, it looks good.
All right. We're good.
Yeah.
Hold on.
cool.
Some more ASMR for people.
That's
Here
interesting,
it comes.
dude. It's so trivial. What if, dude? I wonder how long it takes. How long ago did you say that? That was like a minute ago. Interesting. Anyways,
Very
enough
interesting.
being fascinated by technology and
Oh.
also frustrated by it. And
Yes. We apologize in advance to everybody. Well, I don't know if it's in advance because it's already happened. So if you already got like 3 emails from the Get It podcast,
hey, you know what?
we were testing.
It's our marketing tactic.
Yeah, that's what we do. We just keep
You know, just bust
pounding it out, pounding away. That's how you do it in business.
it out. I have to keep remembering to cut this.
You just gotta
It's something
keep
I
pounding it
gotta
out.
get used to.
Persistence. You know, it's really funny. This whole these streaming platforms. Everything's got a streaming platform now. I remember when streaming wasn't like it wasn't really popular, and technology was really wonky, and obviously the latency and like it was just most of the time it was hard to stream and like you had a fast connection. There's actually this there was a site called Stickam, Stickam.
Oh yeah.
And I think I mentioned to you. I think I was talking to you about it. And this was like we're talking about like 2007. So almost 13 years ago, streaming through this one site was available to people, but most of the people's internet connections weren't fast. The quality of the cameras weren't great. You know, you couldn't really utilize it like today. I mean, think about it, 13 years ago. I mean, just think about 3 or 4 years ago with the quality of the camera phones and technology. It just wasn't there. So you had to use your desktop. You had to have a really fast internet connection. And
You're talking about this.
yeah. But pull it up.
Is it still live?
No, it's you know what? So this is just to give you guys a quick example. This is a Get It podcast. This is an entrepreneurship, marketing podcast about talking about the marketing industry and people, places, things of great influence, nature, and just, you know, positive curiosity. We'll call it that. And, you know, I just think there's a lot of cool stuff out on the internet and that you guys may or not be privy to. I'd never seen the Hello World song before. That was pretty awesome, actually. And just to kind of like a happenstance and take on the marketing, business, and development industry. I think it's a big, broad industry. There's a lot of noise. So we're going to cut through the noise on this one, and sometimes we'll make some of our own. So yes, you go to Stickam. So actually go to there's a site you can actually see. It takes screenshots of old websites. It's called Time. I think it was timemachine.org. It used to be called Wayback Machine.
The
Wayback Machine. I think it's called timemachine.org now, but I don't remember. If you type in
Oh, here we go. Internet Archive.
yeah, oh, okay, yeah. See, look at that, man. I'm so old school. I'm calling out the old name. InternetArchive.org. And you just type in the URL, stick them. You can kind of take a look. Maybe they'll show you the layout of the site. Excuse me. And yeah, it's actually really interesting. I love this site because you can kind of see like the evolution of things. And 2017, way before, dude. Like, does it give you explore more? Just keep scrolling. Just keep 2015, 2014. Scroll. Oh, it looks like somebody took it over and just parked some porn on it. 2013. Oh no, no. They're just showing you relative sites. No, go to the top. Go to stickham.com. That was the right one.
This is weird because this window's in another window, so I have to do some
Okay,
crazy,
gotcha.
Crazy gymnastics, internet gymnastics here.
But when he pulls that up, I'll show it to you guys. So anyway, basically the streaming technology has been around for a very long time, but it hasn't been perfected. And now everything's kind of like, thanks to the broadband and just faster speeds, more processing power. We've got some crazy good capabilities, but the configurations are insane, like to get things to work to where you need them to work. So, I mean, even us, we're both kind of seasoned here and being able to like broadcast on the internet, and they just change everything. Everything's always changed. It's like changing so fast. Even the platforms, like, oh, I'm like, oh, this one's connected to this account. Oh, this one's connected. Oh, no, I already authorized this API credential. Oh, I already did this. I already did this. And then you miss one little thing and one little setting, and it just won't even connect. And you'll be just like, oh, okay, well, I thought we were live there too. So it's definitely awesome that it kind of evolved, but at the same time, it's a pain in the ass, man, because it's just, there's no margin for error. But you know what? That's how you get stuff done. So anybody out there who's watching this, who's thought about doing something, can take it from us. And we're going to be spamming you with at least 3 to 4 emails on your random platforms from the subscribers. Because I know that, I'm my number one fan. Listen, just like in real life, you got to love yourself. I'm my number one fan. I'm subscribed to all my channels. so you should be doing the same, man. You subscribe to your channels?
What about your mom?
Yeah, well, your family, your friends.
Mom,
I mean,
my
even if they don't want,
number one fan.
even she should be. Even if you're not subscribed, like even if your friends aren't gonna watch you per se, have them subscribe to your stuff. Just be like, hey man, can you do me a favor? Because it really helps you, because there's just so much noise on the internet now, and everything gets lost. Like it's really hard if you don't have a true understanding of how it all works, and it takes a long time to kind of really understand that. It's hard to kind of build traction, and it could be disappointing. It could be very disheartening. Kind of like my first business, when I sat around working 3 jobs. And, I was in a retail store by myself. And I think, so on this podcast, this is like the official, I guess, did you tag it number 1?
Yeah.
You did? Well, we're going to have a prequel. I'm going to put out the content that we did previously. It's going to be like if Hollywood could do it.
It's a rolling start.
We could do it. Yeah. So this is our official first one, but I would say that the real first one was the one we did like a few weeks ago, and we did it a whole different setup, and I don't know, I liked it. It was really impromptu because it was fun. I enjoyed it.
It was, but again, with editing, sort of time having to watch it all over again, this setup makes it much simpler
optimize. Well, I don't know about
to
simpler.
cut. In real time, and I have to juggle a few more things, but I think overall we're going to be able to pump this stuff out more regularly.
And when we say pump out, we don't mean like trash, garbage. We want to, obviously this is kind of like a labor of love for both of us and a few other people here, and we want to make it, entertaining, both informative, just have a good time, because the marketing and business industry, entrepreneurship industry is really, it takes a lot out of you. It does. It really takes a lot out of you. You're always going. Again, like hey, we spent a few hours just trying to get this set up the right way, and we made like 3 or 4 mistakes, and now we finally got it. And I know personally, and I know other people personally too, that entrepreneurship is rough, man. It takes a lot out of you, and there needs to be like a place that you can go to just vent. And I feel like this platform in general, it's not like, oh, well, you're getting exactly this, you're getting exactly this. This is more of a platform, and I want everybody to know this who's watching this. This is a platform for you to kind of be more expressive, be more of just who you are. Because you're not just your business. You're not just like servicing clients or servicing customers or, looking or doing the marketing, or, you're also you. And we get lost. It's really easy for entrepreneurs to get lost in the business where the business consumes them. And it's dangerous. Even myself, and then there's a few other marketers there too. There's a few other guys that, they're probably well known. I don't want to say anything because there's probably like content on them if you look around, but other digital marketers who've actually, they went into a little bit of a depression state because it takes a lot out of you to continue to do things all the time, to always perform at high performance levels, to always be invested 120%, 130%, because you have to be. And you got to just there's got to be a moment where you just got to, scale back. I know that, I know this book's a little older now. It's about 10 years old, this book. But if anybody remembers the Zappos story, the Zappos story was acquired by Amazon. They were the shoe company that, jumped through hoops to, sell you shoes or sell you somebody else's shoes or deliver you flowers. And it was a book called Delivering Happiness. And I know Tony Hsieh, which is the CEO at the time, right? He was in the midst of having all this stuff break down where things weren't working, and he was losing millions of dollars, and he was moving the company from Silicon Valley area to Vegas. And he even said he was supposed to try to enjoy himself and go on this trip, and he was having kind of a nervous breakdown, and he didn't know what to do, and he couldn't focus. But I think that's really kind of an important thing, is it's you just got to remember to just enjoy it a little bit. You got to take that step back. Listen, I'm all about competitive nature. I'm all about working hard. I'm all about seeing the vision, crystallizing the vision. But I'm also all about taking that moment and playing hard. And I don't mean playing hard blowing, $1 million. But at the same time, why are you doing all this if you can't take a moment to enjoy it, accept it, understand it? It's just not, it can easily consume you. And it can go over with anything too. You can easily consumed by anything. So the balance in life is really, really important. We'll talk more about that in other episodes about balance. But I definitely think that, entrepreneurships in general is easily become unbalanced, where they're just going. And I'm talking about a few weeks. I'm not talking about a few months. I'm talking about a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. You got all this VC money, got all these people, especially if you're in a tech startup world, you got all these people breathing on your back, trying to steal pieces of your company, trying to swallow this, trying to swallow that, trying to make people impress, trying to impress people, trying to impress yourself. It's damaging. It can really hurt you. So this platform is essentially just a place to kind of unwind, talk about the crazy shit that happens, and both in the marketing, the business world. We'll touch on some current events, I think, here and there, but that's a lot of noise too, depending on where you're getting your current events from. We could stay current everywhere else, and here you can just kind of enjoy yourself. So we want to even talk about a little bit about music too. I actually happen to be a big music guy, so every time maybe we can start fusing it.
Some blueberries too.
Blueberries, yeah. Organic living, organic growth. See, organic growth. That's what it's all about. That's another thing too. Everybody thinks you can just throw money at shit and make things work. It doesn't work like that. Throw money at
the mind, body, and soul.
Yeah. Well, without the mind, without a refreshed mind and a healthy body, there's nothing you're going to be able to do. You're not going to be able to be proactive.
I would like to mention as well, this is a platform every medium, I think, is a platform to tell stories and draw empathy from people. So I think I would like to, and we've discussed this, to have guests on that have interesting stories, have interesting paths to their success, or where they're at
rise
in life.
to it.
No matter what industry, it's always interesting for me, because with the short form documentary stuff, and it does it does tie into the business stuff that we do as well, as as Get Found marketing and stuff, and it all sort of ties together, and we hear stories from businesses and from people about how they got to where they're at, and even their friends, and it's like everyone has a story to tell, and I feel that's what people like to listen to and get inspired by, and Yeah, I mean, we both will probably talk a little bit about our paths to where we are at right now, and yeah, I think it's valuable
with the sweet sound of me sipping on this.
But yeah. Hopefully, we'll get some guests.
What do you mean, hopefully? What do you mean, hopefully?
The third chair.
We'll have 4 chairs. We're gonna have everybody in here.
And we'll get Elon Musk.
Maybe. He's. I don't think we'll get the real one. I think we'll get the one when he splices himself in 3, and we get the third version of him, the third iteration. We get the third iteration of himself. Dude, that's shit. I don't even want to go into that right now. When I watch that, I was just like, I think about a lot of crazy shit, and that was essentially very thought provoking. That was I'm pretty in my head throughout the day. My head's here, and it kind of all meets in the middle eventually. But after that was just wow. I'm gonna need to smoke weed for him. just listen to that stuff. But yeah, we're gonna have a lot of thought provoking stuff. I think you guys will like it. I also think that we will like it. So that's what counts. You gotta do stuff you like in life. If you're not doing stuff you like, and then what's the point of going into this big crazy game, right? You gotta play the game how you want to play it, how you like to play it. And it doesn't mean you can't play somebody else's game too. So I want to get that. So, I want to talk about that real quick. There's a lot of people out there that are like, you gotta just do your passion, just do your passion. And I think I related to this on a previous, the precursor to this podcast. And sometimes you just gotta do shit that you gotta do. That mean you may not like. You may not want to do, to be able to take that and invest in yourself and scale and just keep going. I guess I just, recently had to, I had to terminate some help here because there's a thought process that's going around. It's new school, right? I'm not gonna say ages because I don't want to be ageist. I feel like a lot of people nowadays who are older or a certain age and older, I'd say maybe probably I'd say anywhere from 35, 36 and up. The age is oh yeah, these millennials, oh this, that. I don't want to be that ageist guy because I know there's other people out there who are younger who may not act like this, who may not do this. But excuse me, but it's a poisonous concept. And the concept is thinking that, you come out of school or you're in school or you whatever, and you got a degree, that means anything other than the fact that you've learned something. And that paper entitles you to a job. It entitles you to a position. It entitles you to a certain amount of money. It entitles you not to do certain things that other people had to do, including the owners of companies. And even the CEO of Disney at one time had to pick up dog shit. Had to work at the park, whatever it be 25 years ago, had to change garbage liners, maybe even had to scoop up some vomit. Do you remember scooping up, in school when people had to scoop up vomit? They had to throw that green wood sawdust or whatever this stuff is and watch them, nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to do that, right? But somebody's got to do it. And recently we had somebody that looked really great on paper, was very adamant, yeah, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And then when push came to shove and said, hey, can you just do X, Y? Oh, I just can't do that. Oh, no, I just can't do that. Well, why can't you do it? I had to do it. I still have to do it. Every so often, if that's something I have to do, then I have to do it. You can't do it. You're too good to do it. Oh, do you need X dollars to do that? Because the people don't understand that's a rite of passage. You're not going to be, especially now with all of the competition comes out of the woodwork out of school. There's a lot of people getting degrees. There's a lot of people in your industry. Everybody's in your industry. There's millions of people in your industry, and there's thousands of people every day getting into your industry. So the question is, who's going to win? Who's going to win? How are you going to stand out amongst everybody else? What do you got to do that? Oh, I'll just do all that, but I won't do that. And you'll be like, what? Be like, dude, you can't change the garbages. You can't. Oh no, I just can't do that. All right, well, sorry. You can't make sure that you're communicating. And the thing is too is like, there's a fine line between doing what you have to do and then getting taken advantage of. And I feel like now again, everybody thinks that as soon as they come out of school or they're not used to doing something they haven't done before, that it's required of them, like in life, it's life stuff, and it's at a level of what a job is or getting involved in a job. They automatically think that they're being taken advantage of. Like, oh, I wouldn't do that. I'm like, okay, if you got your dog shits, you got to clean up your dog shit, right? I mean, you can have other people clean up your dog shit for you. And you pay them to do it with their, and they can get a degree. I just came back from Seattle. I had people who like 4-year college, 5-year degrees, working for Grumman, working for, what's that other company? I forgot. It's a, damn, I have it on a stock ticker. Lockheed Martin. That's it. Lockheed Martin. And they're just doing Lyft because they're just trying to survive, trying to make extra bucks for their, I don't know, for a vacation fund or something like that. These guys are hustling, but they're like, oh, I would never drive Lyft. Well, guess what? I drove Lyft for fun. Like I feel originally,
No, totally.
Yeah, I originally got a Lyft permit because I was driving an electric car. So I was like, oh, this would be kind of cool,
The electric scooters like Bird and Lime and stuff. I was curious about that. Like, who are the people that actually charge those things and signed up for the Bird charger?
Oh, you didn't tell me you did that.
And
that's cool.
no. So like I am a Bird charger.
Oh, really?
You're certified
certified Bird
expert
charger
on Bird charging. It's actually very complex. There's a lot to it.
Don't you have a drop-off point or something like that? Like
yeah, there's
it's like
several,
a home base, like a nest. It's called a
points.
nest, right?
The nest. There's there didn't used to be a lot of them, but now they're just everywhere, and it's kind of a mess. Like I don't understand how they retain so many people that can neatly put the birds where they're supposed to be and do all that stuff. But yeah, you can get a permit or get a I guess a license to charge birds, and it's something. It's
a
like
license
it's like,
to charge birds.
Yeah, so it's like you get this, you apply for this thing, and you have to have a car that's suitable to kind of move birds around, and then you have to like charge them in a specific way. You get like
do you get a charger or just have a regular plug?
You get a few chargers in the mail.
Oh, okay. So you get an actual physical charger.
Yeah, it's a regular plug, but then there's like certain times too, where you have to drop it off before a certain time. Like I think before 4 a.m. I think. So that day you have to get the birds after a certain time. So after people use them, you find them at their wherever the fuck they are. And then you take them back, you charge them, and then you have to get them back before a certain time. So as long as you do those things,
how long does it take to charge one?
Like 3 hours, I think. I did it, more.
3 hours full charge
back then, but now I don't do it as much. But it's like an easy thing.
Do you remember how long? Like, was it full charge for 3 hours?
Yeah, full charge, I believe.
And I think it goes like 20 miles, right? You get 20 miles on a full charge or something like that. Do you remember?
Honestly, like
I rode one of them in Scottsdale.
I haven't driven.
Oh, really?
I haven't ridden one.
Really?
No.
Oh, wow. Look at that. You're
you're
part of the nest, but you're not part of the flock.
Yeah, exactly. But point being, like, there's those things where, and TaskRabbit's another great example. Like, I may not need TaskRabbit, but I feel it's a good opportunity as well. Like doing these tasks that some people think are menial. I know definitely some people that would not, like, quote unquote stoop to a certain level of work, but But I think, like, for me, like, I've gotten clients from doing TaskRabbit as well. Like I mentioned, I built a chair for this one guy, and he had me coming to E3, filming his his company going to E3, and that was like, yeah, it's a client that I still have. Shout out CGMA. Appreciate you, Manny.
Yeah. Well, don't forget who
like,
told you about telling people about what you do. You did that video.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty self,
Gotta tell people what you do. And that goes to show you, though, you could still do what you want to do, right? Your passion, but at the same time, you just gotta do what you have to do, because sometimes you don't have the ability. I mean, I didn't have the ability even in like years ago. I mean, now you're talking like almost 25 years ago. I didn't have the ability to just like open a store, open a business automatically. I couldn't do that. Is that rain? Do I hear rain?
Wow. It's a Christmas miracle.
Can you hear it?
I can hear it.
Can you hear it on the?
I can.
Really?
It's beautiful too.
Wow! Look at that. We're in Southern California, and we're getting rain.
I think I'm a little out of focus.
I don't understand how this place even stays green half the time. I mean, I know there's like water, things are watered, but like, how does it even stay green? Like, a lot of stuff is green still. I know that it's like,
I mean,
sprinklers and places like that, but sometimes they don't seem to
Monica,
go off.
Santa Monica. Oh, got a notification that it stopped recording. Anyways, it's recording on the computer, just not on the camera. That's fine. What was that? Oh yeah, no. Santa Monica has like fake fucking grass lining the.
I see the not the AstroTurf, but it almost looks like a fake. What's it called? If you go to a place where you just the golf ball place, like
golf range?
No, not the golf range. Oh man, my brain's not working, dude. I came on a flight late last night and I woke up kind of early this morning, so my brain is still decompressing. Yes, that's it. I feel like I'm playing charades. Yeah, the mini golf. Yeah, the mini golf. So like that fake mini golf grass. Like, I've seen that in certain cities where I'm like, is that like mini grass golf? Like mini grass? Is that mini golf grass? So, yeah, it's just weird. Like, why do we even need that? Like, is that even necessary? Like, somebody spent money to do that? Like, oh, that's a great idea. We should put some green turf over here. It doesn't even look like anything, but it's green. I don't understand some of the money it's spent sometimes. It doesn't even make any sense to me. Like, it just, and like I said, I don't even. Oh, see, the rain's over.
That's all we get. That's all we get.
That's it. Like I said, I don't even understand how some of the areas are still like there's still growth. Like, just things are still growing. Because technically, California is considered Western desert. Did you know that?
Yeah.
It's like it's considered like a Western desert, but we still we've kind of manufactured, and that's why honestly, what's really interesting, obviously it sucks that we have the fires that go on during the summertime, because obviously, or even in the early autumn, but I mean it's happening because it's just so damn dry. Like there's like nothing. Like your breath could be hot. You could like roll out of bed in the morning and be like, and all of a sudden it'll be.
We got some comments here. I haven't been paying attention, but
it'll be your breath. Oh, look at that! We're discovering stuff. Yeah, dude. It's just like even your hot breath will just like blaze.
Can I send you guys some music?
Yes, absolutely. Send us music.
Ghost Boy.
I'm all about new music. Well, like I said, we'll talk more about that actually. I'm big into electronic music.
You can send us some music.
So yeah, you could definitely send us some music. I'm big into electronic. I'm big into everything. I actually just got done. I just came back from Seattle.
On Facebook, Ash Sketches says, "I can't hear you, but I can see your stupid face." Did you try turning on the sound?
The sound. Gotta turn the sound on. Some of these networks independently have sound. Like you have to, like you see the video roll automatically, but you've gotta You got to actually push for sound now, which is kind of weird. I guess they don't want like people like automatic, like it's frustrating, I guess, in the user experience per se. Because I've seen that on the websites, like some of the sites that we design for companies, will have the video autoplay, but it won't actually autoplay with the sound. You'll actually have to press like or even just tap on the video with the cursor or your finger to actually hear the sound playing. So you see the video playing, but then the sound is new. So that's kind of like the protocol now. You're coming through.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm hearing myself.
Yeah,
Just
no,
weird.
The sound's working fine.
Well, sound's working good.
Oh,
So
you scared me.
it might have been.
Ash. We know him, right? Or,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Hey, what's up, man?
We know some people
I hope
out
you
there.
didn't click off. Please share this.
Please share this. This is one of many to come. Many. We're going to be doing this for a while. We're not going anywhere. No, literally. We're just going to sit in this chair, and then you're going to see us wear the same exact shirts. And my beard will grow for November and just keep growing.
Let's talk about that shirt of yours.
What?
What does it say?
Oh, so it's
Season to be jolly it is.
Season to be jolly it is.
Can we talk about Disney Plus for
Oh,
a second?
dude. I'm so sick of hearing about it. Hold on, I
so-
gotta wipe my brow because I'm gonna get
So-
angry.
So let me ask you this: with Disney, obviously, they have their old catalog of movies, and people are going crazy over their childhood obsessions with
I mean, just Disney owns like so
cetera.
much.
but their new their new shows, The Mandalorian being one, the premiere debut Star Wars TV show on Disney Plus, like, so they're doing this release strategy of once a week, as opposed to Netflix, where it's just they give you the season. It's more of like a HBO.
No. I'm
What
giving
do
you. I'm giving you a go. You tell me all about it.
Oh, I thought you were telling me to stop.
No, I'm telling you go. You go, Mandalorian. What is the Mandalorian?
Anyways, so it's Boba Fett. They have the
Boba.
masks, and it's sort of like a cowboy western in space. They're kind of leaning into that side of the angle, focusing more on like the smaller. I haven't seen it, but from what I've heard, it's
I mean, it's
pretty good.
probably cool. I haven't seen it either. But I think the whole thing with
I'm just talking about like the release strategy, because I think I don't know if do people
first off,
really
okay,
wanna, do people really want to wait week to week to watch another episode? Like, I get the positive aspect of that, which is there's sort of a cultural conversation, how Game of Thrones was and Westworld was, but like, yeah, it's not they both were on not on inherent streaming networks. Like,
Okay.
HBO is a
well, this is the
cable
problem.
channel, and now they have the whole season ready. Why not just put it, and then you can sort of go at your own pace. You can watch it as you see fit, depending on how much time you have.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. Like, so release strategy, the time. All right, and then we forgot one. We forgot about finance. The thing is that if you look at all these streaming services, right? So we cut the cord, right? Do you know what that term means? Cut the cord?
Of course,
What does it mean?
it means cut your cable cord.
Oh, you're good.
Are you kidding?
I don't know, because maybe you didn't have cable growing up. I don't know. You're a little younger than me, so I don't know.
Wow.
But just a little bit. So
Bro,
the thing,
I still have cable.
so
What are you talking
I don't have cable.
No,
I actually haven't had cable. I literally cut the cord in 2009. In 2009, because I moved to Southern California in 2010. But in 2009, at the beginning, I was just like, I don't watch television. This sucks. I don't want to see reruns. I don't want to see all this pre-programming like nonsense. I'm like, I use the internet. I was downloading movies. Remember Napster? Yes, we all used Napster back in the day. We had music, movies. We got everything we wanted when we wanted it on our terms. And then, obviously streaming services kind of started building their way in. And I was there at the beginning of Netflix when it was Netflix and versus Blockbuster, sending DVDs through the mail and then having a starting streaming service. But the thing about it is like the whole idea about cutting the cord was it was going to be more cost effective, right? So you're going to save money, and then, you get what you want when you want it, which is great. It's a great concept, right? So who was the first, who are the first three guys? I mean, there's a few guys out there that were like, Sony was kind of like later in the game with Crackle, which kind of never took off. It's like whatever. There's a few things on there. And there was obviously Netflix, Blockbuster, that went right after. So Netflix, and they had that whole suit like, you can't stream movies. Yes, we can. No, you can't. No, yeah, we're gonna take it over. So there's like this stupid like litigation of everything from like delivering movies to the mail to like streaming, and then it just went away, just like boof, over. So then Netflix, right? So it was Netflix, Hulu, Amazon decided like, oh well, now you have Prime, so we'll sign up for Prime, and we'll give you some half-ass streaming service, because I honestly, whatever the case is, you might have some fans out there who have some stuff they like on Prime, but the interface is janky. I don't like the search. The predictive search kind of sucks. Just trying to go through stuff, it's not great. It's not. I don't like it. And a lot of the stuff that you want, you actually had to pay more for. So like, yeah, you get one or two things from Amazon Prime, but anything that you want to really say, you got to pay extra for it. So you got to pay extra $15 here or $7 here. Or if you want to rent this, then because the catalog is there, the breadth of the catalog, but then you have everything else in between. And now between all the services, if you want to get a well-rounded, and originally I say well-rounded because now, Netflix, I would say, was the leader because they had kids, they had, documentary stuff, they had intellectual stuff, they had the brainless stuff, you're like, oh, things are blowing up, like, that's great. So we had everything, and they even had classics. They had a lot. I mean, originally the catalog was just full of classic stuff, even like classic. We're talking like movies from the 70s, 80s. I actually like a lot of that stuff too. Like, I'll down with Charles Bronson. I'll watch Charles Bronson. So Charles Bronson and Chuck Norris, man. So, but anyway, they had a lot of older classic stuff, and then they started making their own stuff, and they started licensing other content, and it was a nice mix. They really started to build a really big audience, and you could tell that by the stock, right? The stock is going through the roof. But now you got all these. Now it's become so fractured that like, oh well, I like animation, and I want The Simpsons, or I want this, so now I got to go to or I want American Dad, or I want this. So now you got to go Hulu. Well, Hulu shows this, but HBO, and this is, oh, I want Game of Thrones. Oh, you need HBO now to stream too. So it's an extra $8. And like literally, this is if you're with somebody who just wants access to everything at this point on any device, you're looking at like way more than the cost of cable.
That's what I was gonna say. I mean, so here if we want to look right here, let me pull this up real quick. So here's the breakdown, and this is sort of what you're getting at. This is super laggy, but we have all these streaming platforms we see, and their price breakdowns. I can't really see that because it's moved it to a different window, but essentially, like, if you want, like you were saying, it is sort of like an a la carte. You pick what you want, but say you want something that each streaming service offers, there's not like one. It's not like a cable package where you can have most of the channels that you'd want. It's like you're constantly adding all these charges, and it ends up being more expensive at the end of the day than than you would be paying for cable. So I think it's gotten to the point where you have your Disney Plus, you have your Hulu, you have your Netflix. Like there was a documentary on Hulu called The Amazing Jonathan, which everyone was talking about, and I was like, damn, I really want to see that. It's about this sort of washed up magician that sort of makes a comeback, and there's like a super crazy twist, and they were like, oh, you got to see this, like it's because it's so meta, and like it's something that I as a documentary filmmaker like feel like I really get something out of. But it was on Hulu, didn't have Hulu, so I did like the trial for a month. And I was like,
you just binge on that of the month and just clip it off?
I literally watched that, and I was like, is it worth, like, is there enough good content on Hulu for me to justify
Did
paying
they
however
make
much
you
a
put
month?
your credit card in for the free trial?
Yeah, I mean,
See,
yeah,
that's the thing
obviously.
too. So like,
And yeah, like if you forget, I was like, I wrote like cancel Hulu before this date, otherwise I'm gonna get charged, and I forgot. So they charged me.
Dude, that
They
happens all the
charged me.
time. It even
Yeah.
happens on like stuff like so many services now, even like Dropbox, right? Like I have a friend who had a Dropbox account for something stupid for like 4 years ago, like 3 years ago. They're like, oh no, I don't usually use Dropbox, but I need to upload all the stuff, so like it made it easier, and I started a Dropbox account, and she actually had it on like a year renewal, I guess, like for the next year, and out of nowhere, there's like almost $200 comes sucking out her account. She's like, "Oh, I didn't even know I spent an extra $200," and I'm like, "Oh wow." I'm like, I was like, "Why don't you just email them and see what they can give you? If they can give you like some type of refund or something like for the unused time." Because like at this point, everything's a subscription. Blah, 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 blah. Everything is a subscription. And
Well,
it's just
yeah.
it's just like,
Well,
okay, and now
specifically
this
for-
is like
specifically
entertainment.
for
How much are you gonna
entertainment.
watch?
Yeah. It's like, will there ever be a time? I mean, I feel like, these companies are so big that it's like there's never gonna be one spot to watch everything. I mean,
There's not, because you know why? Because
yeah.
the companies are greedy. They're greedy. Because you know what? If it came down to it, why do we really need Disney Plus? We don't need Disney
people
Plus.
are,
We don't need Disney Plus because you know what? The catalog gets
They're nostalgic for their old Disney properties.
So then license it to Netflix. License it to
They'll
Hulu.
never do that. I mean, that's
they already have the
literally
technology in
opposite
place.
of-
They just want another piece of the pie and have like, oh yeah, we have this,
Dude.
this, and this. There's no reason for it.
Yeah.
License it out. I mean,
Well, to be honest, Disney is so big that they could probably acquire. I mean, well, I think like I was telling you before, there is a package where you get Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN, I think. So they do like Disney has a percent ownership of Hulu, I believe.
on ESPN.
And ESPN, yeah. So maybe it's just gonna be Disney's.
They
just
got
gonna
their
eat
pot, they
everything
got their
up.
fingers in every pot. It's like
Yeah.
I feel like Disney probably owns me. I just don't know yet. It's just like
Yeah, well,
it's
at
like,
least some
hey, we're coming to
entertainment.
collect.
I mean, would like
I don't know what to do.
so Disney's obviously got entertainment tech. What's
Well,
the
yeah, I mean
big
they're in
players
tech. I mean, I'd rather see them make better
Sony's
video
bigger,
games.
Bigger in tech, And
Yeah, but you know
Google,
what though?
obviously.
I'll be honest with you too. Some of the quality of their films, like I don't know, I went to have my kids take it to go see that some of their last movies, and some of them are just so depressing. Like The Good Dinosaur, Inside Out. Like I'm sitting there like crying. I'm like, oh my god, my kids are crying. Oh, dinosaur died already. It's 5 minutes in the movie. Oh,
So here's a
they're freaking-
question.
It's
do you-
depressing.
So in films and media in general, I guess, not necessarily one specific sort of medium, just throughout all mediums, do you prefer the? And I think I know your answer to this question, but do you prefer the true rawness, and it may be a little over the edge? Let's say your kids are into a specific show. Like, would you prefer that show talked about like real, heavy subjects, or do you want, or is entertainment for? I
mean, I just
is
feel
it to escape, or can you actually learn something?
Well, the problem with children today is that they're not actually because there's so much chaos, and they also have a lot of availability, right? Like when we were kids, we didn't have the internet like we have it today, and it wasn't as available. Anything we want at the touch of a button, information, whatever, and being pushed at us too, like advertised to us, whether going just even browsing a website, right? It's a little dangerous because it doesn't let you have a certain amount of innocence. It doesn't let you actually enjoy and being like, yeah, things kind of gotta get shitty when you get older, if you let them, right? Because it's just like a lot of clarity comes through, and I don't feel like I feel like a lot of kids aren't able to experience it, and they're being thrown in, and they're not. The parents are kind of, letting the media guide them to certain ways, and are essentially, it's dangerous. Like, so for instance, okay, so I'm just gonna pivot to the left a little bit, or the right actually. So, so I went to go see. I was in Seattle over the weekend, and I went to go see a really cool. I didn't know it was there. I found at the last minute. I went to go see Hip Hop Nutcracker. I know it sounds crazy. It was an actual play. Well, it was at a theater. I don't know if it was considered a play, but it's like a musical, right? Hip Hop Nutcracker, and they played, and it was featuring Curtis Blow, bro, one of the godfathers of hip hop, right? And like, just like classic rap, the evolution of what rap music was, but it was awesome. Like seeing Curtis Blow's like 60 come out there and like, dude, it's just, dude, it's not even, it goes way beyond that. Dude,
some of that.
No, dude, like literally, like there was break dancers.
Nutcracker, yeah.
No, dude, it wasn't like that, man. That's what I thought. I thought it was gonna be like, okay, we're just gonna get all street on this, but no, it was really good. They actually had the Nutcracker music. I mean, they had remixes, the violinists. But anyway, what I was saying is back to it was like I went to go see Hip Hop Nutcracker, got tickets, awesome show. I suggest anybody who likes, like old school to watch it.
Nutcracker.
And who likes Nutcracker, or who also likes Lindsey Sterling, by the way, because I love Lindsey Sterling. I love you, Lindsey.
She's
and
the
then
violinist.
yeah, she's awesome. And then there's a lot of that in there. So, but anyway, I was sitting in front of a family, right? And I was sitting behind a family actually, and the family sitting in front of me. And it was like I guess the husband, the son, the daughter, and the mom, right? And the son, I would say, but just by looking at him, probably like 12, maybe 13, not quite 13, but 12, 13. And he had his own iPhone, right? And he was like looking at like reasons why this guy killed this person. Like he's consuming like the worst content. Like I see him reading articles about like mass shootings and like bomb, the Syrian bomb crisis and all this like limbs being thrown around. I'm just like, holy shit. I'm like, why is this kid who's like just probably turned 13 years old? Because on his phone is a current events thing, and he's connected to Wi-Fi or whatever. He's got a data plan, and he's just pumping like this media. He's being fed this information.
Is this what you're talking about?
Yeah, dude, it's awesome, bro. Look at that. Shout out to my man Curtis Blow. You gotta watch this. This is awesome, dude. This show is awesome. Great dancers. Everybody's really talented, man. I was just I was blown away. It was worth every penny.
Is it in LA?
No, I was in. Oh yeah, I think it's gonna be.
Is it coming?
I think it should be in. It's doing. I didn't even know. I just passed by. I was walking past with my head down because that's what you do in Seattle because it's raining, and I had my head down, and I just like looked up for a second and said Curtis Blow. I'm like, what? Hip Hop Nutcracker. I'm like, this is awesome. It was really, really good. I was so impressed. These dancers are phenomenal. They're all phenomenal dancers. So you guys want to check that site out, like Hip Hop Nutcracker. You can buy tickets through, Ticketmaster, but which I don't like to buy tickets because their site was horrible to use. Mobile, I had to like wait. I almost didn't get tickets because I had to wait 3 hours to get back to my laptop to buy the tickets.
There you go.
But yeah, it looks like it's a Civic. No, what did it pass already? Tacoma, Washington, Seattle, Oakland. So next one's in Oakland. Is there one before Christmas in California? Georgia, North Carolina, keep strong. Let's go. Jacksonville, Fort Lauderdale, Brooklyn. Look at that, everybody. The 15th in Brooklyn. Yeah. Not featuring guests. Let me see. Oh, I guess he's not gonna be in all of them, but yeah, he was in the Seattle one. But he was the MC, and it was like a good time, man. It was just like a really good time. But anyway, that kid in front, man, I was blown away. I went to intermission. I'm like watching him. He's not even leaving his cell phone too. Like he's like watching the show. It's like a good show. And Curtis Blow's up there talking about just unifying the frame of mind of everybody and music bringing people together. And like it was just an awesome experience. And I got this kid just like looking down, like looking at all this really shitty content. And then it goes to show you, man, you are what you consume, and that includes your content. And I can guarantee you that kid's mindset is really on a whole nother level of what it should be when I was a kid. You know, I mean, I was working when I was 12, 13, but I had like a good a lot of the influence that came to me was my friends and my family, and not to say I didn't have tough times because that's a whole different story. But I looked at like I wasn't being bombarded 24 hours a day by like chaos, like negative chaos, man. You know, so I just yeah, man, that's what I'm saying.
So,
it's a problem. So yeah,
I mean,
no.
what I was getting at. So yeah, you kind of answered that in a roundabout way.
Yeah,
But,
I did.
but so
we kind of go off
it
on
depends.
tangents here.
You know,
a
you
little
wanna
That's how we do it.
protect your kids and the young generation. Don't you want to say
I don't want to protect.
you want to not. You don't want to.
I don't want to just turn the pipe on. I don't want to just turn the pipe. I don't want to just be like, here.
No.
Just
You
pour
want
it out.
Like you don't want to. I don't feel like it's necessary to expose them to all the shit that's going on in the world. I mean, they should be aware that there's shit going on, and they're the generation that can help. I mean, what our generation is doing now will affect how they, grow up in the world. But I also think it's important to, say there's like a light. There's like talk about all the positive shit that's happening, like all the great things, like all the.
I know, but that's not the forefront of the news, though. That's not usually the forefront of news.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a balance. You want to acknowledge all the issues that are happening, all the shit that's going on in the world, but you also want to.
And the problem is just if you consume
be
too much
optimistic about it, because like you don't want people fucking. I mean, look at the suicide fucking rates in America. Like it's
but that's
crazy.
what's being pumped. That's what's being brought to the surface, and that's the problem. And then for me, even in like some movies and like kids like that, like educational stuff, it's just. Yeah, man, it's just like I don't think it's necessary. I think it's just like you should talk about like bugs and dinosaurs. And I think you should, you shouldn't drag an agenda, and no matter what the agenda is, into the innocence of youth and like learning responsibility and accountability and just knowing that that if you're a good person and you can help others in some way, you're gonna be able to get back. Whatever you put in is what you get out of it. It's not just a miserable street. Because that's what it looks like, right? Because then it puts you in that frame when you're young, and those are the most influential years of your life, man. You're like, from the age I'd say like 5, 6, to like 15. I'd say 6 because it was really hard for me as a teenager. So like, I would say from 5 to 16, and that's 11 years. That 11 years will mold you hard, especially if you're in like from 12 to 14, because now you're going in. You got all kinds of crazy shit to deal with, man. Like puberty and girls and puberty. Yeah. So. And
then, but I mean, like, and some kids deal with it in different ways. Obviously, there's differences in their family situation, their home situation, but like there's some shitty things happening in schools, like
I know,
another shooting last week, like,
and
the guy, like, like, just think about the quiet guy. He might not say he's depressed, but like he might not,
but
physically outwardly say what's going on. But
exactly, and you know why that's happening, and I'm gonna tell you why it's happening. I'm gonna be prophetic about this. It's all happening because kids are absorbing all this negative content at such a young age, all this realness. Real talk, real issues. They're coming in and they don't know how to process it. They don't know how to talk to people about it or people, and like they feel like they're to be ridiculed, and they go on the internet and they talk to their friends and like they're in or they're out.
Whatever. Like people can manipulate.
I mean, I was made fun of in school. Like I was picked on. I was picked on really hard for school for years. I was like a victim of bullying, but I was when I left school, it was over, right? So, like, I left school, like, when the day was over, or if I went to school late, the day was over, I was done.
But
I was not bullied.
24/7 now. Is not everyone's situation. Like, you don't know what was going on with their home life, with their...
I understand that. But the fact that they're connected to something that somebody can physically interact them, call them, whatever. Or sometimes they shelter, or they're watching, like, the happiness of somebody else's life all the time.
Dude,
and their life is horrible. I
had a friend who got catfished, and I mean, there was that story. Like, it didn't go this far, but do you remember there was a story about the girl convinced the guy to kill himself?
I heard something. See, I didn't. I tried to buck that out of my
like
brain.
It's that, I mean, not to take it too off topic, but like people are so easily manipulated. I mean, obviously, especially in the internet age. But like you said, there's so much stimulus shot at you from the media to
and they can't
home
process it
to school.
Yeah, because the
that
parents
it's
are
like, who
busy
do you
working
believe?
2 jobs.
Obviously, and the whole sort of thing in the culture about fake news and what's real and check your sources and
Yeah, I want to sit here and
political
check.
culture.
Do you know what I heard? Okay, you know what I heard this weekend? This is crazy.
What'd you?
So I was telling you, I was like, this was a really interesting. I was only gone like 3 days, and I was just, and again, because I'm always very involved in what I'm doing as an entrepreneur. It was just 3 days. So while I was walking to the place I was going to see this DJ, and by the way, his name is Diesel Boy. He's awesome. But so it's a guy I've been listening
Just
to
to
like
give
20
you
years.
a time.
Yeah. So like
wait,
I was
hang on,
walking,
hang on.
right? I was walking
We're
down
at
the
1
street.
hour, by the way.
Oh, we
Just
are?
to-
Okay.
just
We're going to wrap it up
yeah.
soon. So I was walking down the street, and there was a bunch of kids, and I wouldn't even say kids. I mean, like, we're probably like at least 19 to 22. Like, I mean, in retrospect, they were like teenagers, young adults, right? 19, 22. And they were jumping up to get, there was like these lights hanging off the tree, and they were just kind of joking that it was hanging down. The Christmas lights were hanging down really far. So these kids were trying to jump at it to grab it, right? And then this one kid who happens was a little short, was big enough, and this other kid is going next to him to help him pick it up. And then somebody yells out, "I say, you need consent for that. You need some consent." I was like, dude, I was just like, I'm like, really? You just like, your friend just like picked you up by the waist to help you reach that light, and then somebody just yells out, "You gotta have consent for that." I'm like, what? Like, what? This is so, and it's so deranged. I'm like, oh, dude, consent for somebody to grab you at the waistline to pick you up, and it wasn't like a girl to guy thing. It was a guy to guy thing. And I'm thinking like, wow, you can't even like, if I pat you on the back, I give you a lift. Like I need consent. Like kids are growing up think that they need consent for anything. And like it's not what it's being pulled off in a wrong context, man. You know. It's just like you see them playing and enjoying their life, and then all of a sudden it's just like, oh, I got bamboozled by all this stuff. Like, you know, it's just really the wrong. I guess it's like programming almost, man. You know, I feel like the programming in the external and the internal. So going from in the house to even what's being taught in the schools versus everything else, it's just fucking disaster. And you know, I can go off on hours for that, and we'll say that for another podcast. But anyway,
yeah.
But you know what? Maybe I need your consent to talk about it. Maybe I need consent to talk about it, or maybe I'll be edited. I'll be like, you know.
Did I say
I'll be
you
silent.
could say that? Was that something that I allowed you to?
You know,
say?
I'm offended by your offense. I'm offended. I'm gonna make that a T-shirt.
I'm offended by your offense of my being offended.
Yeah, I'm gonna make T-shirts like that. Mark my words. You know, not that I'm all about
by
merch.
that green shirt.
I'm gonna say, but I'm offended.
You're promoting weed with that shirt.
I'm
like,
promoting weed.
Come on.
You know. I'll be honest with you. If you kind of look at Yoda, he kind of looks like weed.
a blunt.
He's kind of got
like
that
a
weird
right,
pale
like
green.
a leaf. Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of looks like, you know, he's kind of furry and like he's got even a little brown.
I'd totally smoke a joint with Yoda.
Maybe you would smoke Yoda. You just smoke Yoda. Maybe you'll get the knowledge of the ages if you smoke Yoda.
Maybe that's the key. Maybe,
I could see
maybe Yoda turned green because he did some green.
Anybody? I wonder if there's
a
strain out there called Yoda. It's gotta be.
Yeah.
It's gotta be. Is there anybody who's like a connoisseur?
That's a good place to end. Let me look this up.
Is there a Yoda strain? Is there a strain called the? Because there's like strains for everything now, like pineapple Kush and milk and cookies. I mean,
Yoda OG.
Is it
cannabis strain?
No way. This is too many.
OG Master Yoda. Here, let me.
Is it really?
One sec.
That's really interesting.
WikiLeaf.
WikiLeaf. It's of course. Like, where? How do you even validate that? You know, I see it's dispensaries like, oh yeah, this is the
Rating
Yoda OG
4.4.
out of what 5?
4.4.
Is it
4.3.
sativa or is it a
Hang on.
indica? Like I'm some like professional. Yoda OG 3 reviews.
Oh, is that a
Typical.
location or is that a strain?
That's a strain. See, it says the overview of what it does. I don't even know this site existed. It's a pungent
WikiLeaf,
scent.
that's hilarious.
I don't know. I, mean, I thought
Here,
maybe it
hang
would give
on.
you some like wise knowledge. It would be awesome if they give
Yoda.
me some more knowledge.
Here, let's end on this.
Yeah.
Ready? Hang on one sec.
Yeah. Yoda OG. What does it look like? Yoda OG has a pungent scent, a mix of rich earthiness with a hint of wood, almost like tilling soil in a great forest. I love these descriptions. You know, it's almost like wine descriptions. You ever read about one? The smooth barrel oak aged wine with a hint of blackberries and smooth sandalwood scent. And I feel like you can use that. Oh man, that's so funny. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to stress. Trees leads to doobies, and doobies lead to Twinkies. And that's how you gain some weight, folks.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Get It Podcast.
Get It podcast. We'll talk to you guys next time. Don't forget to subscribe and check the links in the description
Wait,
for the.
hang on. Plug away.
Oh,
Go for it.
yes. So Joe, so this is just a. We're just pushing this out to all avenues right now because we have a direct channel. If you like what you're listening to, you like what you see, you like Yoda, and you want to be the master to be, I'm getting some Curtis Blow over here. Do me a favor and click the link below. You'll be in it with the flow. You'll get the knowledge that you know. You won't need to grow. Talk to you guys next time. Gotta quit where it goes good.
Oh, man.